Hello, we're going to go through a little bit of information on how to manage your roster for your organization on the Involvement Network. So to start off, I'm here on the main Involvement Network page. I'm logged in and you can see some of the organizations that I'm a member of listed here. So we do need to go into the Manage section of the organization to get started. So you can always click on your organization here. And then you could choose Manage Organization right there. But you can also always access the waffle up here and then choose Manage. There you can again click on your organization. And this brings you into the Management section. So two different ways to get to this. From here, you're going to click on what we like to call the pancakes. And this opens up some of your different management tools, including the roster tool. So let's go into that. On the roster page, there's a variety of different features that you can access. So we'll just go through those pretty quick. First, messaging. This allows you to create what's called a message relay. This makes an email address that you copy over into Outlook, and it will send a message to all the members of your roster that you choose when you go through those steps. So can definitely be useful. You can check that out for yourself, but definitely a great tool to reach out to everyone in your organization. Next is manage positions. This is a really important one, as positions are how the different features on the Involvement Network are assigned to the members of your organization. So that was a long way of saying, if you want your vice president to be able to access things like creating an event, or you want your secretary to access features like documents. So it's kind of like all of these things here. If you want people to have access to that, they have to be assigned a position that gives them those access points. So we'll go into manage positions. Here you see I'm using a student involvement page, so you see a variety of different department positions listed there. So you can actually click on one, and that allows you to edit information about that position. You can also create one using this button. So through the creative position, I would choose a name. And then I choose a type. So a lot of our officer roles just stay as a student organization officer. But if the position is actually the president or treasurer, we do ask you to pick those in particular. So this would be used if you call your president something besides president, as an example, or maybe you call your treasurer a vice president for finances or something like that. So that would be how you can show that they are actually these positions for your group. You can also check if this position should show to the public, so anyone who holds it, if they should show to the public. That can be useful, especially for some of your key officers, so that different members of our community can know who to contact. But I would always check and make sure that those position holders feel comfortable with that information being public as well. Active, you can actually sunset a position. So say you change the name of a role, you may actually want to make it inactive and then create a new one with a new position name. This just helps with the history related to your group, because we do save all of that through the years, and we can always go back and access information about past positions as well. You can also check this box off. This sort of assigns somebody a secondary role of being a primary contact. So the primary contact, which you would see back on the roster page, that person receives all emails that are sent to your organization through the Involvement Network. So this position, or this is checked off, that means that anyone holding this position will also receive those emails. So you can use that as you see fit. And you can check that off or not. Down here, you set management access, so you can actually create positions that have no access. They can have all access, so that means they can access all of the different features like events, documents, etc. that I showed you a moment ago. or you can do limited. And this actually lets you pick and choose. So if someone's an event manager, maybe they only need viewing access and not actually full access to create things. So you can always choose that somebody can view or somebody has full access to those different pieces. So it actually lets you do that with a variety of different features on the site as you create the position. All right, so let's go back to those positions. And so now that you have it created, or that you've edited the access for a position that exists, if you want to assign it, you go and find the person on your roster, and you use the little pencil icon, and that lets you check off all of the associated positions for that person. You can choose to have more than one position or position associated with a person. So you can definitely get creative with how you give access for different features as well. So if that's something that you have any questions about, we are always happy to help you navigate that as well. Moving along through these pieces, invite people. That lets you enter in their email address and then just click add. So if I put in my own email address here and I click add, down here it's going to say, do you want to invite them as a member? So make sure you do scroll down because they actually need to be sent the invitation here. So you can actually invite them as one of the different positions that you've created as well. You can put in a whole list of emails. So just like it says here, separate them with either commas or one address per line when you're entering them into this box. Please note that you do need to put their entire Bridgewater email address. So for students, that means you must include @student.bridgew.edu. Some of you who've been in roles before may have heard us say, don't use the student part. That has changed, so please make sure that you're including @student.bridgew.edu for all student emails. If you're adding someone who is a staff member, then it would just be @bridgew.edu. Let's head back to the roster, and you can see some of the other tools here to manage your actual roster and memberships. So current is showing you everybody who is currently on your roster. If you need to remove somebody, you check them off. You can check off multiple people at once, and then you would end their membership. You can end all memberships at one time, but we generally don't recommend that for most organizations. The page here for pending, this is for people who have been invited. So that was through that invite people button. They show on this page as invited. They have not accepted that invitation yet, so you can actually go and check them off and then resend the invitation, and they will get an email from the Involvement Network into their Bridgewater email address. Prospective, these are folks who have come to your site and requested to join. So you can go through that list and determine if they need more information, if they should first come to a meeting. And it actually lets you send them a message right here through the site to say thank you for your interest in our organization, but we would like you to come to a meeting before we approve your membership. So feel free to do that, and this is how you manage your roster to the best of your ability. Okay. So back here on the main roster page again, one other tool that's important to know about is the export roster. So this button up here actually lets you export your entire roster into an Excel document. So this can be great when you're taking attendance, if you wanted to just copy down everyone's email addresses and just have easier access to that information in a different way on your computer. We also will ask all club presidents to use this feature to confirm their roster in the coming weeks or at some point during the year. So this is something we're going to be asking at least twice during the academic year for all organizations to confirm their roster by using this export tool and sending us a copy of their roster confirming that it is accurate as of the time that they've done the export. So check that out. Definitely can be useful. It's really important that your roster is kept up to date. We encourage you to take a look at it every week or two, especially for any prospective students during the first few weeks of any semester. But it's something to check at all times during the year because you never know when a new member might be interested in joining your organization. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the staff in student involvement and in the Center for Student Engagement, and we'll be sure to help you out as we move forward through the year. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.